Winter isn't just a season, it's a silent predator. Every year it creeps in with freezing winds and unforgiving storms, claiming lives through hypothermia, blackouts, and deadly accidents. In the United States alone, more than 1,300 people die each year because of winter weather. Stop for a moment and think about that. Over 1,000 lives gone, not because they weren't strong, but because they thought they were prepared when they weren't. Now imagine this. A massive storm slams your city. The power grid collapses. Hours turn into days, maybe even weeks, with no electricity. Your heater clicks off, your food supply dwindles, and the cold begins to claw its way through every crack in your home. If you think a couple of sweaters, a few candles, and good vibes are enough to see you through, you're dangerously mistaken. Winter doesn't care about optimism. It doesn't care about shortcuts. It strips away every weakness, and it will test you harder than you ever imagined. When icy air seeps into your walls and your bones ache from the chill, you'll realize too late that preparation isn't optional, it's survival. Winter doesn't wait. It strikes fast, it hits hard, and the price of being unprepared isn't just discomfort. It could be your health, your safety, or even your life. That's why in this video, I'm breaking down 7 survival essentials that could mean the difference between staying safe and warm or battling a cold so brutal it can break you. These aren't fancy gadgets or nice extras. These are must-haves if you want to outsmart winter and come out stronger on the other side. Let's start with number 7. Gear up like your life depends on it. Because honestly, it does. When the power goes out, your hoodie and everyday jacket won't keep you alive. Hypothermia doesn't care if you're indoors. If your body temperature drops too far, you're in serious danger. That's why you need real cold weather gear, not just to survive, but to function when temperatures plunge below freezing. Begin with a solid base layer, not cheap cotton, which traps sweat and makes you colder, but moisture-wicking fabrics like merino wool or high-quality synthetics. Over that, add insulating layers such as fleece or down to trap your body heat. Your outer layer should be both windproof and waterproof, because even a small draft through a window can drain your warmth faster than you think. And don't overlook your extremities. Your head, hands, and feet lose heat quicker than the rest of your body. Wool socks, insulated gloves, and a thermal hat, or better yet a balaclava, are non-negotiable. For extra protection, keep chemical hand and foot warmers nearby. They're small, cheap, and can be lifesavers when the cold is relentless. This is how you dress, not for comfort but for survival, like you're preparing for an Arctic expedition, even if you're just stuck inside your own home. Add those chemical hand and foot warmers to your kit, because when the cold sinks into your skin, they can mean the difference between numb, useless fingers and hands that still work. And don't overlook your feet. Sneakers won't save you in snow or freezing rain. You need insulated, waterproof boots, gear designed to keep your feet dry, warm, and functional when you have to step outside. And here's a pro move: invest in a thermal sleeping bag rated for sub-zero temperatures. When your heater fails and the cold starts clawing at your walls, this sleeping bag becomes your personal fortress of warmth. Trust me, when your breath turns to mist inside your home, you'll wish you had taken this step seriously. Cold weather gear isn't about comfort, it's about survival. Now let's move to number 6, the hand crank weather radio, your lifeline in the dark. Imagine the power's out. The storm is raging. The silence isn't just unsettling, it's dangerous. Without power, you're cut off from everything that matters. Is the storm intensifying? Are emergency shelters opening nearby? Has an evacuation been ordered? Without reliable updates, you're stumbling through the dark, guessing your next move. And in survival, guessing can kill you. That's where a hand crank weather radio changes everything. Don't dismiss it as a gimmick. This is survival tech at its finest. A solid emergency radio picks up AM, FM, and NOAA weather alerts, so you'll always know what's coming. And here's the key: don't buy a flimsy knockoff. You need a rugged, multifunctional model designed to last. Look for one with multiple charging options: hand crank, solar, and USB. The hand crank means you'll never run out of power, even during weeks-long blackouts. The best models also double as flashlights, phone chargers, and even have emergency sirens. Picture this: it's pitch black. The wind is howling, and your phone is dead. With a single device, you can light your way, call for help, and know whether the next wave of the storm is about to bury you deeper. That's not just a convenience, it's peace of mind when the world feels like it's collapsing. But here's the catch: your radio is only useful if you know how to use it. Keep it in an easy-to-reach spot, test it regularly, and practice cranking it up before you actually need it. Because when the world goes dark, the informed have a fighting chance. The uninformed? They're left in the shadows, hoping luck will save them. And luck is not a survival strategy. Now let's move to number 5. A multi-fuel cooking system. Because when the power dies, your kitchen becomes nothing more than cold furniture. No stove, no oven, no microwave, just silence. And if you think you can live off canned beans and stale crackers until the lights come back, you're in for a rude awakening. A multi-fuel cooking system isn't a luxury, it's survival in disguise. When the grid goes down, your fancy kitchen turns into useless furniture. No stove, no oven, no microwave, just cold silence. That's when a reliable camp stove becomes your lifeline. Start with a dual-fuel model that runs on propane or butane. These little powerhouses are compact, efficient, and strong enough to boil water or cook a full meal in minutes. But here's the hard truth: one option is never enough. If propane runs dry or butane canisters vanish from shelves, what then? That's why you need backups. A portable wood-burning stove lets you turn fallen branches, scrap wood, or even broken furniture into fuel. If wood isn't available, a lightweight alcohol stove can save the day, running on rubbing alcohol or ethanol, fuels you can often find even during shortages. The more fuel options you have, the harder it is for winter to corner you. Now, why does this matter so much? Sure, you can choke down cold beans for a day or two, but survival is about more than calories. What happens when you need to boil water to make it safe to drink? What if someone in your family is sick and needs a hot meal? Or when your kids are freezing and miserable, and the only thing that could lift their spirits is a warm cup of soup? A multi-fuel system doesn't just feed your body, it feeds morale, and that might be the strongest fuel of all. With the right setup, you can cook rice, pasta, soups, or even just boil water for tea or coffee. These small comforts can keep spirits alive when everything else feels bleak. Don't forget the details either: sturdy cookware, utensils, a reliable fire starter, and enough extra fuel canisters to last at least 2 weeks. If you're cooking outdoors or in a drafty space, use a windscreen to cut fuel waste. Remember, in a crisis, every spark and every ounce of fuel counts. This isn't just about eating, it's about maintaining sanity in the middle of chaos. A solid cooking system means you don't just survive, you live with some sense of normalcy when the world outside feels anything but normal. Now let's move on to number 4, solar-powered lighting. The answer to endless darkness. Picture this: the power grid collapses, the sun sets before 5 p.m., and you're swallowed by a darkness so thick it feels like it's pressing against you. The first night, maybe you've got flashlights and candles, but when the batteries drain and the candles burn out, what then? Are you ready to spend weeks stumbling through pitch-black nights, where every step feels like a trap? That's why solar-powered lighting is a total game-changer. These kits soak up daylight and transform it into hours of reliable illumination. A good kit doesn't just give you a single light, it comes with multiple lamps connected to a solar panel, so you can brighten different rooms at once. And the best part? Even in cloudy conditions, many panels can still gather enough power to keep the lights on when you need them most. The beauty of solar-powered lighting is that it never runs out as long as the sun rises. No batteries to replace, no fuel to stockpile, just pure sunlight turned into power. The smartest choice? Lights with adjustable brightness. Keep them on a low setting to stretch your energy through the night, then crank them up when you need focused light for cooking, repairs, or moving around safely. Now let's be real about life without proper lighting. Simple things, like making food, reading instructions, or even walking to the bathroom, become dangerous tasks. Try lighting a stove, or climbing icy steps in complete darkness, and suddenly you realize how fragile comfort really is. And the toll isn't just physical. Darkness wears down the mind. It breeds fear, anxiety, and helplessness, especially for kids and the elderly, who feel the weight of every shadow. That's why solar lighting isn't just about convenience, it's about survival. Indoors, it keeps your home functional. Outdoors, it becomes a shield. A few solar-powered floodlights around your property can ward off intruders, scare away wild animals, and give you peace of mind when everything else feels uncertain. Many kits also include portable lanterns or handheld lights, perfect if you need to evacuate, check on a neighbor, or even just step outside without stumbling into danger. Some even come with USB ports, so you can charge radios or phones. Without solar lighting, you're burning through candles and batteries faster than you realize. With it, you've got a renewable, reliable source of light that turns endless nights from terrifying to manageable. It's more than just brightness. It's safety, security, and sanity when the grid goes dark. Now let's move to number 3, a water filtration system, because clean water isn't optional. When brutal winter storms strike, pipes freeze, water lines burst, and suddenly the tap that you rely on is nothing but dry silence, or worse, contaminated sludge. Here's the truth: you can survive weeks without food, but only 3 days without water. And in freezing temperatures, dehydration sneaks up on you faster because your body burns through energy just trying to stay warm. Don't fool yourself into thinking a few cases of bottled water will be enough. Supplies vanish quickly, and when they're gone, you'll be desperate for a solution. That's where a portable water filtration system comes in. Start with a gravity-fed filter. These systems can clean several gallons at a time, no electricity, no pumping, just pure drinking water. Perfect for keeping your household supplied during extended blackouts. But emergencies don't always keep you home. That's why you also need mobility. A high-quality straw filter or compact pump filter lets you drink safely from streams, melted snow, or any questionable source, without worrying about bacteria or parasites tearing your health apart. If you want to go the extra mile, look for multi-stage filters that strip out not just microbes but also heavy metals, chemicals, and foul tastes. In a crisis, clean water isn't just hydration, it's protection from disease, weakness, and despair. A good water filtration system isn't complete without backups. Filters can handle bacteria and parasites, but what about viruses? In urban areas where sewer lines may overflow during storms, viruses are a real danger. That's why you need purification tablets or a UV sterilizer. A simple UV pen can kill viruses in seconds, and tablets are cheap, lightweight, and perfect for treating larger amounts of water at once. Boiling water might sound like the obvious answer, but during a blackout, fuel is precious, and melting snow. It's inefficient, and unless it's sterilized, it can carry hidden contaminants that will make you sick fast. Without clean water, everything collapses. Cooking becomes impossible, hygiene disappears, and even a sip becomes a gamble with your health. On top of that, the mental strain of drinking dirty or questionable water can break you down when you're already under pressure. A water filtration system gives you more than hydration, it gives you peace of mind, and in winter survival, staying hydrated is critical. Dehydration speeds up frostbite and hypothermia, turning a bad situation into a life-or-death spiral. Don't wait until desperation sets in. Secure your system now, because when the taps run dry, clean water becomes priceless. Now let's move on to number 2. A solar-powered battery bank, your lifeline when the grid fails. Winter storms don't just bring snow, they bring chaos. Power lines snap under the crushing weight of ice, transformers explode in flashes across the night sky. Suddenly your home is silent, your device is dead, and the modern world you depend on vanishes in an instant. In moments like this, electricity isn't just comfort, it's survival. Think about it, your phone is more than a gadget. It's your emergency hotline, your weather tracker, your flashlight, your map, even your connection to loved ones. But in freezing cold, that battery drains twice as fast, sometimes dying in just hours. Without power, you're cut off, blind, and alone. And if you rely on electronic medical equipment, like a CPAP machine, a blackout becomes not just inconvenient, it becomes terrifying. That's why you need a solar-powered battery bank with real capacity. Don't settle for a toy-sized charger. Look for at least 20,000 milliamp hours, enough to charge multiple devices several times over. And here's the key, it must have solar capability. When the grid is gone, the sun is your last power source. With solar charging, as long as daylight exists, your lifeline stays alive. Want to supercharge your setup? Pair your battery bank with a foldable solar panel. These lightweight panels can charge your devices directly or refill your power bank faster, ensuring you're not left waiting when every second of daylight matters. Because without power, you lose more than convenience. You lose communication, safety, and control. And in survival, losing those things is a risk you can't afford.